Welcome back to the kitchen. I know it's been a while since we've done any cooking. You know, the holidays, this, that, we're getting into the season. It's gotten super busy, I'm sure for you as well, but my friend Chef Freddie did a dish that was absolutely phenomenal, and it really kind of inspired me. I said, I haven't really cooked in a while. I'd really like to do some cooking, and so I figured tonight would be a good night to do it, so we're going to make Steakhouse pasta. So it's a great pasta dish that revolves around a really good steak, which we happen to have. Whoop, that's hot. Hold on. We have a nice steak right here. And I've seared it on both sides. So there you go. And I'm going to throw it in the oven to keep it warm. It's not too thick, so it's probably done all the way through. Hello, Bill Senso. Hi, Jan. So now we've got the steak ready. Now I've got my pasta ready. We have to make the sauce. So what we're going to do, let me heat up this pan. All right. I'll throw a little olive oil in here. A little light, extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to throw a little butter in our pan. Okay, so for this, hey, Donna Stevenson, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so what you're going to need for this is you're going to need some cream. You're going to need salt and pepper, some garlic, which I have right in here, horseradish. Remember, it's a Steakhouse recipe. You can do this with a couple of different kinds of cheese. I'm using fontina cheese, which I freshly grated in there. Nice low melting point. It'll blend in beautifully. I've got some spinach, and I also have some finely diced tomatoes, which we will use in the sauce, and I've got some shallots right here. The other important ingredient, a little brandy. Got some VSOP, we're gonna use that. I'm not drinking that this evening, although that would go nicely with this dish. Tonight, cheers everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week and a good holiday season thus far. Hey, Mike, nice to see you. Tonight, hey, Mike, you're gonna be interested in this, my bourbon buddy. I'm drinking an Old Forester called Statesman. This is a great bourbon. I actually got this at the Purple Room here in Palm Springs at one of their bourbon tastings. I knew vaguely the definition of bourbon, so I want a bottle. How about that? So here's to you guys. Oh, Joe, nice to see you. All right, come on over. Let's get started. Hello, Dave. I don't know about a master, but all right, we got our pan heating up. We got a little olive oil. Let me bring it down here so you can see what we're doing. I also, when I did my pasta, I did bucatini tonight because I love it. But I did reserve about 3/4 cup of pasta water in case I need it. I think that the sauce is going to be the right consistency, but if I need it, I got it. All right, so I've got I don't want to burn my shallots. So we got our shallots. So there you go. See all those nice shallots in there? Let's get those cooking. Get a little sizzle on that. All right, so a little olive oil, a little butter to start with. We're going to saute, just soften up our shallots. I used one pretty good sized shallot for this. I'm making a smaller portion than I might normally for the full family. I'm just making a little portion for myself tonight because everybody else is all doing their own thing. So there we go. We got that. We're just going to soften this up. I like shallots better than onion for this. It's a little softer. It's a nicer flavor. But you can certainly put a little, like a half of a medium white onion in there, and it would be just as good or very similar. So you can do that. Hello, Lori Highland. Lori Highland Ward is watching. Nice to see you. So it's nice to be back in the kitchen. I had to clean up a little bit. I did a lot of cooking over the holiday. Ron, yes, I'm drinking and cooking at the same time. Hey, my buddy Robert Chapman from Charlottesville. We went to school together, all through elementary, middle, and high school together. How are you doing? Marilyn's watching. John Gordo, I'm sorry. We do need to catch up for lunch, and I apologize. Things just got away from me, but we will do that, I promise, before Christmas. So we'll get that done. All right. Got my shallots going. Hi, Susan. We've got those cooking down. Like I said, I don't want to brown them. I just want to soften them up. And so now I'm going to add in my garlic. And I did a couple of cloves of garlic in here. Get that in there. I used my little quick handy-dandy food processor to really blend it up. So it's, and I'm going to stir that in, my garlic. Deanne LaBelle is watching. Deanne LaBelle, who does a great job with Amy's Purpose, a great organization for animal welfare here in the Coachella Valley. All right, so now we've got our garlic and our shallots in there. I want to get that. Oh, now it's starting to get nice and aromatic. I want to check on my steak. The steak's got to come out. Steak is going to be officially overdone, but that's okay. Let's check it. Now it's going to be fine. All right, so I've got my steak ready to go. And now I'm getting the sauce. And this is going to be pretty quick and easy. It's pretty painless to whip this up. So we've got a nice medium-high heat underneath the garlic and shallots. It's getting nice and aromatic. Again, we don't want to burn or brown anything. We just want to get them all softened up and combined. And then we're going to add in our brandy. This is an important part of the dish. It's where our sauce is going to get a lot of its flavor. I like to cook with brandy. Sometimes I put it in the recipes. All right, so now what we're going to do is just reduce that brandy down, okay? And this is really kind of the heart of the flavor we're putting into this dish. Hi, Susan. Hope you're doing okay. In fact, I'm going to grab a plate for that steak and get it out of that dish entirely so it does not continue to cook. Come here, buddy. Oh, you're done. I got a nice sear on that. That's all you need to do. Still feels medium rare. That's there. All right, so we're going to bring our temperature back up. And just let this brandy do its thing. Oh, this smells so good. That is very, very nice. All right, so we've got now a little olive oil, a little butter, and of course our brandy, shallots. Hello, Fred Bell from the Palm Springs Air Museum. Janine is watching as well. All right, so we've got our shallots, our garlic, a little butter, olive oil, and now brandy. We're cooking that down. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. All I want to do is reduce that brandy down just by about half, and we're almost there. So I still want a little bubbling. So we've got that going on. Hope you guys can see that. It's still bubbling just a little bit. And with that, we're ready to add our heavy cream. And it smells just like that, Mike, but even better because they're all blending and merging and combining. So we're going to add in our heavy cream. I'd say about 3/4 of a cup. It's a good guess. Hello, Ann McCarthy. Yost is watching. Ryan Whitlow is watching. Hello, Ryan. Now, I've got a little heavy cream in there. If you want a lighter dish, it's called Steakhouse pasta. Why would you want a lighter dish? Hey, Kathy. Oh, yes. Yeah, we Judith and I did the tree lighting last year, and Abby Carter and I are doing it Sunday night. This coming Sunday, the tree at the top of the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. I'm going to be the MC, and Abby Carter, American Idol winner, is going to be the celebrity tree lighter. So we're looking forward to that. All right. We're just going to stir this. Let this start to thicken up a little bit. Bring that back up to temperature. I'm going to add in a little bit of kosher salt. Not a lot, just a little. And a little bit of black pepper. Coarsely ground. Stir that in. We're going to let this all start to thicken up a little bit. This is the basis for the sauce. We're going to add in a few more things. And if we don't like the consistency, we can add in our pasta water, or we could add in some more cream, or even half and half if you'd like to do that. The tree lighting. It is a string of nothing but lights. There's no actual tree, Mike, so I think it's pretty safe. Mike, my firefighter friend in Roanoke, Virginia. All right, we're going to continue to stir that in. Get salt, pepper, shallots, garlic, brandy, and heavy cream with a little butter and olive oil in there. All sounding pretty good. All kinds of things that taste good. And you think of these kinds of flavors when you think of a steakhouse. Monique, how are you? All right, we're going to continue to cook that down a little bit. I've got that on a pretty good heat. I'm going to watch it because you know how cream is. It'll scald very, very quickly. So we want to avoid that. While that's cooking, here's one of my favorite ingredients. Some will find this controversial. A little prepared horseradish. All right, see how that's coming up to temp, so I'm going to cut that back a little bit. Now, depending on how hot you like it, go light, go bold, but I like it with a little bite. And since we're cooking it into the sauce, it's going to lose some of its heat. But just any prepared horseradish will do. Sorry there, Remy. Remy has heard the word steak and he decided to come over. All right, so we're going to stir that in, let that break down. All right, now it's starting to smell like a steakhouse in here. Got our steak over there. New York strip. It was a bone-in New York strip that I bought and deboned myself, and I just seared it on both sides and threw it in the oven. I had the oven heated up a little bit. Again, I've already got my pasta right here. That's ready to go. El Paseo Grill is watching. Okay, I hope to see this on your menu, guys. All right, we're going to continue to stir this, let it thicken up a little bit. Now, we're going to add in some diced tomatoes. I drained some of the sauce off of this. I don't want it to turn it all red, but we're going to add in some diced tomatoes. You can also use sun-dried tomatoes if you prefer to do that. A little spoonful. All right, guys, we stir that in. Well, there we go. So you're going to get a little pink out of that, but this, again, I drained off a lot of the liquid off of these petitely diced tomatoes. Get I like the finely chopped tomatoes when you can find them, but I used petite diced tomatoes for this. So while that is coming up to temperature, we'll let that do its thing for a second. We'll come back over here. When that gets up to temperature, I'm going to add in our fontina. Now, my buddy Chef Freddy, and I am, hey Pamela, nice to see you. I'm sort of stealing this. Not everything, but I stole a lot of this from Chef Freddy. Chef Freddy was on Eye on the Desert. He is every Tuesday from Fantasy Springs, and he's an amazing chef. He cooked for Sinatra for many years. He was in Vegas. He's been all over the place, but he's a Jersey guy, and so I admire him for that. So cheers, Chef Freddy. Thank you for letting me borrow liberally from your recipe. When that comes back up to temperature, we're going to add in our fontina cheese. You can also use Gruyere cheese. So whatever flavor profile you're looking for. Tonight, Pamela, I'm making Steakhouse pasta. So I've got a really nice New York strip sitting over there. There it is. And I've got the sauce going on over there. Ignore the dirty kitchen, please. And we put in shallots. We put in garlic. Nick, it is an homage, really. It's not theft when you mean it from the heart. I can count on Nick Leach. So shallots, garlic, olive oil, butter, some brandy that we cooked down a little bit, reduced. And then we added in our heavy cream, and now some diced tomatoes. And now, when this gets back, we got bubbles. So let's come back over here and finish up our sauce. We're almost ready to plate this. Hard to believe, but this is a pretty quick and easy recipe. All right, guys. I got about a half a cup. I probably could have used a little more of this fontina. I like the fontina because it's got a really nice low melting point, so it will blend in beautifully with this sauce. It will just melt and disappear into our sauce, just like that. We got a little horseradish in there for a little bite. A little spice and flavor to offset that wonderful steak. This is looking rich and delicious. Hello, Nikki. Sherry Young's watching. So we're just going to let that, see how that, I don't know if you can see just how quickly that just, fontina just melted right in. The Gruyere will do the same thing. Gruyère's got about the same or a similar melting point. So super easy. That's in. All right. I like what we got thus far. Put the heat back up a little bit. And the last thing we're going to do is throw in some spinach. Let that wilt into the sauce. I'm just going to let it go a little bit longer. Let that bubble up. Again, got cream and cheese in here, so we don't want to scald this sauce. I think we got plenty of sauce. And you know how spinach just also disappears. Do this when you're almost completely done. I didn't get baby spinach, I got big spinach, so I'm gonna shred that up. Now we're gonna stir the spinach in and let that wilt. You can add more or less if you prefer. And again, I use petite diced tomatoes, but you can certainly use the sun-dried tomatoes if you like that flavor. And I think it's a good choice. And I believe Chef Freddy did. I don't know, I have to go back and double check his video. All right, so we're stirring in. There we go. We've got our spinach in there. That'll wilt down in no time, but it gives you a nice little, a little freshness to it. You get some greenery in your sauce. Look how beautiful that is. Looks like the Italian flag, doesn't it? It's beautiful. All right, we're going to continue to stir that in, let that spinach wilt down. I'm not huge into spinach, so I didn't put a whole lot in there, but that's enough. It's enough for me. All right. Shallots, garlic, olive oil, butter. Saute that up, add in your brandy, cook that down just a little bit, and then you add in your cream, let that bubble up and reduce just a little bit. Then I added in horseradish, I added in some diced tomatoes and some spinach. That's all good. Now I'm going to grab my bucatini pasta that I boiled off a little bit ago. I love bucatini pasta. We're going to put it right in there. There we go. And we're just going to stir that into our pasta. Get it good and coated, get it reheated, get all of that goodness into the pasta. And while that's going on, if you'll give me a moment, we're going to slice up our steak, and we'll just about be ready to plate. Got to get my good knife. Come over here. You will pardon my bare naked hands. I'll move that. Oh, and to garnish, because blue cheese always goes great on a steak. Hello, Daniel. All right, so we're going to take our steak and just cut it on a little bias like that. Yeah, it's a little past medium. I trimmed this up pretty well. All right. So now we've got our steak ready to go. Clean up a little bit. All right, guys, let's plate this up. We're going to grab our pasta. Got a nice heat on it. It's all warmed through. It's ready to go. Piping hot bucatini with infused flavors of garlic and shallot and horseradish. We've got our tomato and spinach in there. Oh, that looks really good. That looks really good, guys. Whoops, I'm making a mess. Don't judge on presentation tonight. I'm making a mess over here. All right, plating up our pasta. Clean up our plate just a little bit, like that. And that right on top. I'm going to ladle a little bit of our sauce on that. Hold on a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we have for you tonight is Steakhouse pasta with a little bourbon. Now, before you serve it, what you want to do, you can put this into the sauce if you wanted to, but I don't like to do that because it's too much, it's overpowering. I'm going to need a fork. Just grab some of your blue cheese crumbles and put it right on top like that. However much blue cheese you like, don't like, don't use it at all if you don't like it. All right, gang. This is a finished product. Steakhouse pasta. The only thing left to do is give it a try. So let's do that. Find a nice piece of steak. All right. Get that in the sauce. Grab a piece of blue cheese. Oh. Bursting with the flavors of a steakhouse. And the steak is nice and tender. I got it a little past where I wanted it done, but it's nice. Let's try the pasta. I think you're going to like that. It's a pretty darn good recipe. I will post all the ingredients and the recipe here on Facebook. I'll then move it over to my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in subscribing to that, I encourage you to do so. It's free. It's just Patrick Evans in the Kitchen on YouTube. And you'll get all kinds of great recipes. This one, someone said it looked like a great New Year's recipe. I would agree. This is a fantastic New Year's recipe. If you love steak and you love pasta, then you're going to love this dish because it's perfect. It's creamy. It's delicious. It's got that, my wife says I use the word tangy too much. It's got that wonderful tang of the horseradish in that creamy sauce, plus the fontina cheese. I forgot to mention you got to put the fontina cheese in there. You can use fontina Gruyere. You can garnish that with a little blue cheese, as I did. And wow. That, my friends, is a pretty darn good dinner on a Wednesday night. You can do this with long pasta, or you can do it with the short pasta that you prefer. Susan, this really is a winner. Johnny Ruck, you would love this dish. Steak, pasta, little horseradish. You can throw some red pepper flake in there too. Brandy, some fontina cheese. You finish up with the blue cheese. Hello, Misty, nice to see you. Dang, the orange drink of acid. It's true. This is pretty darn good, guys. Cheers. So once again, I'll post all the ingredients, the recipe. You can try it at home if you like to do it. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take long, and it's a really nice finished product. It'll make people think that you worked all day and save you some. I will, Johnny Rock. We've been going for 22 minutes, and I started to saute the steak maybe 5 minutes before we got on. So really, this is a half an hour to do this dish. That's about all it takes. You can simmer the sauce a little longer if you want to, but honestly, it's just done right. It's ready to go, as we say, right out of the pan. So you'll have to give it a try. David, thanks for checking in. All right, guys, we'll be back hopefully next week, sporadically through the holidays, but we'll get back on track and be here more regularly on Wednesday evenings with some great restaurant quality recipes to try. So check out my YouTube channel, In the Kitchen with Patrick Evans. And of course, you can find a lot of these videos just hanging out here on my Facebook page as well. I hope that everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We certainly did. We're in high gear headed toward the holiday season. I wish you guys all the best, and we'll see you right back here next time, right here in the kitchen.